Hello. Welcome back,
Hello.
everyone, to the shade of it all. I'm Brandon,
I'm Magdala.
and we are back and better than ever.
Better than ever.
Reunited today because Maggie is back from being out of town,
It
and
literally
I've
did not
kind of
disrupt our
missed her.
lives at
It
all.
didn't.
You're so dramatic.
It did, though. I
Maggie
went
is
to
back.
F45 twice without you.
Oh, how was it? Did you cry?
No. We made some other friends. So, I was able to hang out with them on Tuesday. So you weren't missed.
Okay. Oh, who are your other friends?
Kelsey, which is
Uh-huh.
your friend as well. And
Hmm.
then this other girl,
Emily?
Emily?
Oh,
Emily.
I love
That was her
Emily.
name. I thought it was her name, but I was
Hmm.
scared I was gonna be wrong. I like her a lot. She's cool.
She's cool. She's very cool.
Um, and then
Okay.
yeah.
I
So it's
approve
fine.
of these replacements.
Well, they're just temporary because you're back.
That's funny. I worked out with Emily when you didn't come as well.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes, I was in Atlanta for a couple of days, but I'm
She
back and
was.
better
She
than
was in
ever.
Atlanta.
I was in Atlanta, the
Oh,
land of the Anta.
the land of the
But
did you enjoy it?
yeah, yeah, it wasn't bad. We were
That
busy. I
sounded
went for
so
work.
unbelievable. Yeah,
I mean, like,
totally.
I went for work, so it wasn't like I went on a vacation.
True.
But it was kind of cool to like just be in a different scene for a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked the trip for work. Like the work I was doing was nice. It was a different change of pace. It just long days. I worked like 12, 13-hour days.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I didn't get to venture out really much, which is fine because there was no time. I would prefer to go to sleep so that I can have energy for the next 12-hour days. But overall, it was fine.
Did you wear the clothes I picked out from Ross?
Yeah, so on Saturday before I left, me and Brandon went to Ross and I got two blouses. I will say I should have also got shoes because
Oh
they're like
really?
wear comfortable shoes. So I have these black OCs, I think that's what people call them, that I wore all day, every day. And they were fine, but I wish I had like some like more casual looking shoes. I think it would have made the outfit better.
Mhm.
Also, those shirts we got were a large. I guess I'm like more of like a medium now. So they were
Oh.
a little big, but still nice. I got compliments on the one that had the two patterns, the black
Oh
and the tan
yeah.
striped one. That one, I got some compliments on that one.
We like an oversized moment every now and
Mm,
then.
yeah, yeah. I just feel like with my pants and my shoes, it didn't go well. I would have like maybe if
Mm.
I forgot belts too, that could have enhanced the outfit. So, a few things could be improved, but overall, the looks were good.
Next time we gotta like coordinate and plan the outfits. Like
The whole
this day
outfit
you're
from
gonna wear
top to bottom.
this.
Yes, I
This day
agree.
you're gonna wear that, and then it'll
I
be
agree.
perfect.
I agree. I agree.
Mm.
But I think all the things we got were really nice.
Oh yes, they were, because I
Yeah.
picked them. But
Brandon
anyways,
never misses. How was your week, Brandon?
it was good. It was just work is annoying.
Yeah.
They're like giving us more stuff to do on like the busiest month, and it's like
Uh,
what?
yeah, isn't this tax season
I think
or
so, but it was just
busy
for
season
me, it was
technically?
like Q1 close.
Mm.
So it's like a lot more stuff to do afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they're doing this new streams project where
Mm.
we each take on like a topic and
Mm-hmm.
have to like research it and see how we do it. And then in a
Oh,
couple months, present to the senior VP like what's going on and how we can improve it.
that's kind of a lot.
That's too much for a subject I don't care about. I'm here for a chat,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, I'm not trying to dive deep into an accounting topic.
I hear you.
I'm
I
trying
hear
to
you.
leave accounting. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
feel that. That's funny because I feel like that kind of happened to me because this is like my first time traveling to the conference, but the rest of my team, they go to conferences like every 6 months. And so I'm like leaving for the day and they're like, so Magdala, like, what did you think? This was like the end of technically the last or the second to the last day. They're like, what'd you think? How can we improve? What do you know? And I'm like, I have no idea. This is
you're
my
like,
first
beats
time doing
me.
this.
I was just
Literally.
here.
Like I made some connections like how this work connects to like what I do on a regular basis, which I think is helpful for
Hmm.
me to know like, oh, okay, I make this and I see it here and I do this and I see it there. But the whole like, oh, what can we do better? Girl,
I
I
don't
I, I
know.
barely know what you do already. This is my first
I
time.
was
I
just
was
trying to
like,
survive
yeah,
this.
I was like, I know that I was like, I think I need to come more to like know improvements, but I did da, da, da. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, I hope that's a good answer. I always feel like I'm walking like work just makes me so anxious because it's always like I want to be doing like a good job and stuff, and so I want to like answer the questions right. So it kind of stressed me out. I was like, I don't have an answer, and I'm like, I hope that's not a bad thing, but like. I don't know I mean, like, I guess I could say, like, oh, it'd be better if we did this or that, but I'm sure there are reasons why we do this and that. You know what I
That
mean? So
part.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
sure
give,
your answer was fine. I've learned that overthinking, you may think people hate you, but then really they like you.
yeah, or they don't think about me at all, which is
Or
fine
that
as
part
well.
too.
That's
So
fine.
it's just like
I take the
our
third
problem
option.
is we think about everybody all the time. So we're just like,
Literally. Remember when I was overthinking for other people?
yeah.
Oh, I kind of had a funny story from the conference, but it may not
Oh.
be so funny. And so I was telling Brandon, I kind of want to do this segment where I talk about the weird thing that happened to me this week because there's always something weird that happens to me. Like, not every week, but I feel like every now and then, like, I just encounter something bizarre or
Hmm.
something in front of me happens, and I'm like, this is bizarre. So I'm having a conversation with some people, right?
Hmm.
And these people are discussing the downsides of their positions, okay? And so this woman is explaining to us that she has a man on her team who has told her verbatim that he will not retire until his mother-in-law dies because his
Oh.
mother-in-law works with them, or I mean, his mother-in-law lives with them, and so he like is with her every day. And so for him to retire means that he would have to be home with her every day, and he does not want to do that. And
How
apparently,
old is
she's in
this
great
guy?
health. I mean, he's probably in his 70s, and maybe she's in her 90s, but she's doing really well. And I
Oh.
was like, like, I just kind of perked up, and I'm like, did first off, this man told you this story? Crazy that he did that.
Hmm.
Also crazy that you are telling us this story. Like,
Yeah.
this is weird. I just thought it was so weird. I perked up and I was like, no way she's sharing that with all of us in this room right now.
Like she said that in front of like a group of people.
Not a large group, but a small group of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That's the
like,
thing about like corporate and business. People are messy.
they
They don't care.
are. They are. They don't. And I'm just like, that's really transparent, you know? So I
A
just
little
thought that
too
was interesting.
transparent. Yeah, I'm waiting for the mother-in-law to die.
Just crazy. And then, like, why would you say that? God forbid something happened to her. You're gonna be the first suspect.
Oh my God.
So that was the weird thing that happened this week. Also, we have some old business to take care of. I
We
have to get some
do.
things off my chest.
Oh Lord. Maggie's conscience is weighing heavy on
My
her.
conscience is weighing heavy on me. Last week, we talked a bit about our friend Jojo Siwa. And we weren't necessarily speaking bad about her, but we were giving our assessment of her recent behaviors and her recent dance moves and her recent assessment of her being a gay pop icon. I saw a video of her today, and it was a compilation of her basically talking about all of the bullying and all of the backlash that she has received online. And so it
Hmm.
made me think like, did I contribute to this narrative of hating on someone? I don't think now the things she was saying were like people, for example, she was like pumping gas in her car and some gas got on her car, and so someone was like, you should light a cigarette, which is a
Oh,
terrible thing
yeah.
to say to somebody.
That
We
is.
did not say all of that, but I think I want to
No.
just refrain from speaking negatively about people um in general. Unlike, I guess I will speak more on
It's gonna be hard to do in a
circumstances.
podcast called The Shade of It All.
No, we can talk about TV shows and how people are behaving and our opinions of their behavior. I want to leave
Um,
JoJo Siwa alone.
Okay. I agree, of not contributing to like so much hate. And I think with her, there's just been a lot going on. I was listening
Hmm.
to this other podcast, Sexy Unique podcast,
Hmm.
and they recap a lot of Vanderpump Rules and stuff like that, but they also talk about other pop culture stuff. And they were
Hmm.
basically saying how like the internet being so hard on JoJo, it's like clearly like she doesn't know things. She's been famous her whole life and like she doesn't have a sense of reality. And like
Yeah,
people are just being too hard. Like I think they were
I
basically
think people
speaking to
are.
the people who were like genuinely so upset by the things she was saying. Like I
Yeah,
think it's one thing to troll, quote unquote, to be like, well, this was silly, or like,
yeah,
what is this dance, or what is
right.
this? But the people who are like, I cannot believe that JoJo Siwa would say this and say that, and oh my gosh, like
Yeah,
abolish JoJo Siwa. It's like, wait, okay, calm down a
yeah,
little, like let's
yeah.
chill a
These
little
statements
bit.
are coming from someone who's basically a child. Like even her gay pop icon statement, I saw that TMZ bumped into her and they were like, "Do you want to apologize?" And she's like, "Yes." Like there of course have been gay pop icons like Michael Jackson. And then people are like, "Michael Jackson?" So it's obvious that she doesn't know or her way of seeing things is different and we could just move on.
We just sometimes you just gotta appreciate the content for what it is,
Yeah.
and then not take it too seriously.
Right. And with even the dance thing, she claims that she did the dance obnoxiously to get attention.
Which,
So we were baited apparently and we fell for it. So I don't
mm,
necessarily feel any type of way about that, but I will just I don't know. Like maybe I'm not gonna comment on people who are younger than me. Like obviously she's a little girl. Like I
she's
don't
like
even think she's
20.
20. Maybe she's 21. Like she's young, like,
Maybe.
you know.
I
So
mean, dream guests on my podcast? Like, come on. Like, it's just funny.
the people who are like putting paint on their face and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, yo,
Well, there is
it's
a
funny.
filter on TikTok. See, that stuff I think though is more of the like
I think
silly
that's funny.
funny. In that vein though, the OG Karma is a bitch singer, Brit Smith, released the like song as
Is she
like a
on social
single
media
now.
too?
I think she has a TikTok at least,
Mm.
but with because everyone's loving her version so much more than JoJo's, which again for JoJo, so
I
sorry.
see.
But she's getting so much attention, and I saw she did an interview with Us Weekly where she was like, I've been working, I quit the industry, like, because I guess what happened was in 2012, she recorded that when they did the music video, and then her label made her do some other song instead and she really wanted
Oh.
to do the Karma song, like she loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that other song, she ended up quitting the industry and she's been working for like this hair company,
Oh.
Color Wow or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she said in the interview, she was like, well, now that so many people are like liking it and like seem to be into it, like I might try to like do a little
Make a
something with music.
comeback,
And I'm
yeah.
like, you should, because that is, that's crazy how the world works and like time and like fate and all that. It's
Mm-hmm.
like she probably never thought this song would hear the light of day or that music video.
Literally.
And now it is, and everyone loves it. And now she's kind of had this resurgence and something she probably always wanted to do, but
Yeah.
felt like wouldn't happen. I'm like,
Right.
that's crazy. I
That
do
is
like that.
crazy. Yeah, I like full circle moments and you get to hear the backstory of people's struggle and stuff.
And honestly, her and JoJo should do like a collab or something, like a little remix.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Karma's a remix. Na na na. Maybe she could
Something.
try the dance.
I think it goes to
Um,
show you gotta, I mean, you put stuff out there, you never see what's gonna happen to it. Like our
True
TikTok
that.
got a lot. I was looking at our TikTok got a lot of love this week. I'm like, oh, look at
It
us making
did.
stuff
Follow
and
us on
putting stuff
TikTok,
out
y'all.
there.
The Shade of It All podcast.
Yeah, someone was telling me that our page has more likes than theirs, and we've only been out for 2 months.
Oh, really? Who said
We
that?
have like 4,000 likes, an associate. And
Oh,
I was
an
like, oh, that's
associate.
cool. So I
Oh,
do think our page gets a lot of love. Like, we're just trying it out, see what I mean, this is something we want to do. We're doing it and we're having fun.
Yeah, we're doing some fun stuff. Our
Mhm.
YouTube video for the last one also got like 70 views, which for our YouTube video, not bad.
That's
I'm like, hey,
amazing.
small wins, small wins.
Hey,
Hey,
you shimmy
so
for the wins.
shimmy, shimmy.
I
If
saw
you're
you
just
do it. I just did it too.
you could see us shimmy on our YouTube channel at the shade
Ah,
of it all.
the shade of
So,
it
you know,
all.
get those
My
visuals.
my friend started listening. She was like, "Mom, you didn't tell me I had a podcast." And I'm like, it's kind of awkward. I don't really want to just text all my friends and family like, "Hey, I have a podcast." But she found it and she likes to take long walks. So she was listening to our first episode and she's like commenting in real time. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's like you're with me and I'm talking to you." And I'm like, "It's Magdala to go." You can have Magdala and Brandon to go.
Hours of content from both of us.
Exactly. Hear my voice all day. And like we were talking about I can't remember from our first episode, but she was listening to it. I'm like, that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we segue into Vanderpump Rules, I did see this misleading article because it's already been debunked, but I figured maybe we could talk about it.
Hmm.
Allegedly, Andy Cohen was like gonna get fired from Bravo because of all the
No
lawsuits that have been
way.
happening. So he was trying to like,
Lawsuits? Oh,
well,
like
'cause
Nini's lawsuit?
there was Nini's, but then there's like more this girl Leah McSweeney who was on New York Housewives for like 2 seasons. She was suing the network
Oh, and she's
and
trying to team up with Raquel, right? I think
Raquel
you
and
told me
like
about that. Raquel is suing
Bethany.
too?
Raquel, I don't know if she's actually suing Bravo. I know she's suing Tom and Ariana.
Okay.
And but I think she lists a bunch of stuff in it about Bravo and about stuff
Mm.
going on with it. And then I think Faith Stowers, who was on Vanderpump Rules, is suing the network, which
Hmm.
hers, I mean, it's pretty legit because she's accusing Lala threatening to pull a knife. Like, apparently, Lala allegedly pulled a knife on her during filming, like season 4 or 5, one of those seasons.
What?
Because she came in around the same time Lala came in. And then the main reason why Stassi and Kristen were fired
Hmm.
like after season 8 was because Faith had come forward during COVID and talked about how they called the cops on her
For what?
because they thought she was this girl who was stealing guys like credit cards and stuff and like drugging them based off security footage, and really it wasn't her, it was just like a black woman that they were like profiling and saying was her because they didn't like her because she had
Oh, was
slept.
she black?
She was, and she
Oh.
had her big thing. She slept with Jax cheated on Brittany with her.
Is this the friend from Sir? Sheena's friend from Sir?
No,
No.
not
Oh,
her.
okay, okay.
Faith came like season 4, and
That's
then
great. That sounds legit.
yeah, well, the thing is, Kristen and Stassi went on podcasts talking about how they did it and they talked about how Faith had a history of stealing and all
Oh
this
gosh.
stuff. And then they were like, Kristen like saw her at a club and called the cops and were just like, I know it's her. She did this, da 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 da. And then they like boasted about it. And then years later, when Faith came out about it, then Bravo like fired them because they were getting so much
Wow.
hate and stuff. So
Wow.
her lawsuit, because now Kristen's back on the Valley,
Mm.
and then she's bringing up the stuff, I guess, with Lala, which I had heard briefly about years ago, but I didn't know if it was true or not. Well, what's funny, again, these people talk on podcasts. Stassi said on a podcast that Lala did do it back when she wasn't friends with Lala.
Wow.
So people are resurfacing that clip and being like, well, it must be true because even Stassi, who Faith does not like, is confirming the story.
Right, right.
And I guess she's saying that the network, or not the network, maybe the producers were trying to encourage her to like not say anything when it
Hmm.
happened and to like get over it.
That's interesting.
I don't know. So wild stuff. So there's that lawsuit. So it was rumored. That being said, it was
Yeah.
rumored that Andy might be trying to
Yeah.
leave, but I guess he already debunked it and was just like, "That's not true. I don't have any plans on leaving," which I figured he wouldn't.
Right. I don't know why he's got the a great he's in a great spot.
Right. And like given all these like things, because I guess in Leah's lawsuit, she said that Andy allegedly did coke with other housewives, but she never saw it happen. She just heard about it. So I'm like, well, then why are you?
Yeah,
I
talking you're
don't
just spreading a rumor now.
right? And it's
Now
just
it's
like
hearsay.
also like
Mm-mm.
anyways.
And if he did do it, he probably already then heard about it, probably paid everybody who was involved to be
Right?
quiet.
And Andy's just the face. Like, I don't think he has that
Yeah.
big of a heart. And like, I think some Housewives
I,
casting, he can like say, like, put in a word about it, but
yeah.
he doesn't make, I don't think, the final decisions.
Yeah, I really think he's just a figurehead.
Yeah. So I don't know. But so he's staying with the network. But I was gonna say, if they needed someone new,
Hmm. Brandon Lord.
I would more
Brandon
than
Lord.
willing take on that. I would love to host the
Everyone can
Housewives
call you the
reunions.
Lord.
They can, Lord Brandon.
Lord Brandon is here. He's graced us with his presence.
I would go off script so much and ask like the real questions.
You would need to spend time with everybody so everybody's cool with you first. Because then it's
hmm
like, wait, I have a question. So season one, you did this. Did you mean this or did you mean that?
Quick question. I know we're in season 8, but I remember in season 3 they didn't clarify this, and I must know. Also, season 3 reunion looks. What made y'all go with that? I'm talking to you, Potomac,
Right, right.
which
That's funny.
they had some recent firings. Robin's fired, Candace
Yeah,
quit.
I saw her statement. She's like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was fired. Candace is having a baby.
hmm
Interesting times.
Interesting times have changed,
Hmm.
but you know what stays the same? Our friendship.
Our friendship never changes. It only
Never.
grows. It never shrinks.
And the
Yo,
top.
we were being so mean to each other today. I can't even pretend. We were being so mean to each other.
We
At the
were.
gym, Brandon wanted to talk some crap. And so we just kept going back and forth like we're doing a workout. I can't remember. We was
I
like,
was in a fun
oh,
mood.
Maggie, my weights are heavier than yours. And then
Maggie,
I was like,
don't bend at the knee.
we were talking a lot of crap today.
It was
All
good.
in good fun.
But we don't talk as much crap as Vanderpump Rules. That
Listen,
toxic show.
circle of toxicity. Who should we start with?
Oh Lord, I
You
don't
want to
even
go
know.
through the timeline of the episode? I'm trying to remember the first thing that happened, and I
We
cannot.
can or people. I don't even know. I'm trying to figure was this episode 12?
This was episode 12 we just watched.
Episode 12, which the finale I saw is gonna air May 7th.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we
that's so
have
far away. I wish you didn't tell me.
I know. Well, we
Oh.
have 3 more episodes, including the finale, and then probably 3 more reunions. So at least 6 more episodes in total.
Okay. Okay.
So, but with this one, what were the
Um,
big things?
s-
Lala had her sperm party,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was nice.
Yep.
I thought it was a cute moment. I
I thought
don't
it was
know.
a cute moment. You want to start
Well,
with that?
yeah, we can. She invited everyone to well, first she had the nerve to ask Ariana if she could
To
host
use
it
her
at her house.
house. I was like, interesting. When you need something, Ariana's there for you. But will you say that she doesn't have a storyline to her face, never been a part of the storyline?
But
She's
you
been
want
a
to use her
hater.
home to pick your
Yeah.
baby daddy.
Can we use your house? And she's like, no, my house is dirty. And she's finally packing. We'll
She
talk about
is.
that next.
But yeah, so she ends up having it at Lisa's Villa Rosa, and they do
Hmm.
this thing where it's basically like there was 3 options. They read them out loud, and then they voted whether or not they she should go with it. So they picked, I think, the first option.
Yeah.
It was just a cute moment. She was
It was
happy.
cute.
She cried like 8 times, and
She's like, oh my gosh, I'm crying.
I would also like to point out there was a moment where you can see the genuine happiness Ariana expressed when Lala
Oh,
said, like, oh, we picked my baby daddy. And
yeah.
it's just, moments like these when we'll think back
Yeah.
to Lala completely turning on her.
Yeah, we'll have to remember this. Bookmark this one.
Bookmark,
Um,
clip it.
I I thought the sentiment was cute though. She's like, my first child was born out of love. I want this to be an experience where people who loves this me and this child can come together and do something. And I thought that was cute. The sentiment was cute. The looking through the journal and stuff was a little weird, but I think it
Mm,
was overall was cool. I
Yeah.
thought that they were gonna look through a catalog, so it was smart to do like three. I guess it wasn't. I mean, it's just different. I've never seen that happen before, but I thought it was cool that she got everyone's feedback and stuff.
Mhm.
Ariana was genuinely happy for her. Thought it was weird that Katie was there when they're clearly beefing.
I was gonna say my favorite moment was Katie just in all black, flowy outfits while everyone's in like bright colors, and Katie just has black and sunglasses, and Allie's like, I heard you're like miserable, like Lala told me. And Katie's like, I'm miserable? I'm not miserable.
I was like, Allie, don't do it, Allie. You don't have to be. But the producers were probably like, Allie, ask.
Allie, go
I
tell
bet they put
Katie.
miserable in Allie's mouth.
Probably, which I mean, Lala said unhappy. It's not that far off.
Miserable? Did I say I was miserable? I've been
No, she
the
didn't. I'm
quote.
Sheena. No, she didn't. Me,
The
Sheena. No, she didn't. You didn't
they
say that.
even show Sheena's face. You just heard her voice. No, no, that's not what he said.
Sheena bugged the shit out of me this episode. I was like, can you shut up? Can you go hide back in someone's pocket? Like, get
You're
out of here.
so funny. What did she do other
Well, it
than
was
this
like
moment?
that, and then it was like later, just piggybacking off the Katie thing, because Katie and Lala, they had their big fight last week about Lala getting the
Mm-hmm.
hot dog with Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the episode, they had the brunch at Tom Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing was Katie asked Lala, like, you said I was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lala was like, oh no, I never said miserable. I said unhappy. And then Katie was just like, you're wrong. Um,
I'm not unhappy. I'm
And
very happy.
and then this is how I know Lala's full of shit and why I will never be on Lala and Sheena's side because Lala swears up and down. She tries to vilify these people, act like they never have her back. Her thing, she's insecure because Katie and Ariana are close. And she's like, I don't know where I fit and all this stuff. And then
Yeah, it's like, how
Ariana,
did that become that?
right? And again, another moment to clip, Ariana reaching her hand out and showing genuine
Hmm.
concern for Lala in this moment.
Hmm.
And then Katie's basically like, girl, like, I don't like that. Like, I have all the time in the world. Like, just because I'm close with one person doesn't mean I can't be close with you as well.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And then
Yeah.
Sheena chimes in. One thing I've learned of being close to Lala is she likes people to reach out to her. And then Katie's like, I
Like I
have
text her all the time.
literally all the
Like I
time.
text her.
She doesn't make time for me. And
Yeah,
then
she's like,
Lala's
I don't
like,
have a boyfriend. I don't have this.
right. And Lala's like, you're right. Everything you're saying is right. And I'm like, so you were lying, Lala? Like, what is happening?
Or you did, or she didn't realize that she was making Katie feel this way.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is Lala, she
Mm-mm.
lacks some self-awareness, if you
I've
ask
noticed
me.
that a lot of the resolutions come with tears.
They do.
They were like crying together a couple weeks ago, and then they were back at each other's throats. The resolution a couple weeks ago was like, let's be nice. Like, can we be like kind to each other or something? And then back at it like shortly thereafter.
Katie, yeah, Katie was crying a lot, this one.
Hmm.
Lots of tears, lots of tears. And you know who
Yeah.
else shed a lot of tears? Mr. Tom Sandoval.
Mr. Tom is so sad. So Raquel's podcast with
Oh yeah.
someone is
It was
being
with
listened to.
Bethany. I love that they never said her name. They were just like
Raquel's
some podcast.
podcast with Bethany, she came out and was basically saying a lot of stuff. So the cast is reacting to it. I think Sheena is at her m- her song music video
Oh yeah.
recording, and she's
For the
talking
Good
about
as
it.
Gold emo remix.
And she and Lala was there. They were talking about it. And then Tom was with Schwartz
Mm-hmm.
at his house.
I think
Yeah, they
so.
Tom or Schwartz came to the house. Maybe this was this
Or
moment.
did he? There was two instances. I think he went to Schwartz's apartment, and then
Hmm.
later on, Schwartz went to his house.
Okay. So
One of it.
Sheena reacts, I don't really care what she had to say about it. But then Tom reacts, and Tom is like, she was basically Raquel's basically saying that she didn't love him, which is so funny to me. Dude, we're just really in love, dude. I love her, dude. I love her so much.
Dude, I did all these changes kind of hoping that
I was saving myself.
maybe she would want to be with me, dude, but now she's saying like all these false things like that
Everything's a lie.
it's just a lie and I'm like, look, I think Raquel has lacked a lot of accountability and has lied about a lot. But I think when it comes to you, Mr. Sandoval, she's a
It's
bit
true.
spot on.
She's a bit spot on, my guy.
This is the one thing
She
I'm
was
like,
saying,
she got you there.
she got you, sir. didn't really love you, was getting over her ex.
Mhm.
You were manipulative, you know, wanted her to, and then the girls are like, but she said this, and I'm like, fam, do you not know how manipulation works?
Right.
Ariana
Well,
was pointing out that during the reunion, she was probably coached. Like
yeah.
she was hinting at that, right? So you can't really take what she said before at face value. You kind of need to hear what she's saying now.
No, I agree. And like, well, the one thing she said that was like such bullshit was she was trying to say like Ariana and I were
Weren't friends, yeah.
acquaintances that became close because of the show. And Ariana made a valid point. She was like, either one, she's lying to make herself feel better, or
Mm-hmm.
two, she just never liked me. Either way,
Yeah.
she sucks.
Yeah.
And that's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, Raquel, this doesn't like help. It doesn't matter if she was like your closest friend or not. Y'all were still cool and she was
Yeah.
nice to you. And
Doesn't
then
make
you
it right.
fucked her boyfriend for seven
Yeah.
months behind her back.
Yeah. No,
Like,
that's not. Yeah, I don't really know why she had I yeah, Raquel saying that doesn't help her. Saying the stuff about Tom, I think that does. I mean, I think she's just trying to like clear the air and just say her truth.
yeah.
Maybe it doesn't really specifically correlate to like all of the drama. She's not really trying to clear her name. She's more so just saying where she's at. And she's like, I didn't love him. And that's kind of the only thing they really shared on the show, right? It was just like, oh, she just said she didn't love me. But she said a lot of other stuff, like you were manipulative and things like that. But I don't know if it was definitely on this like Bethany podcast.
Yeah, they definitely didn't address her talking about him screen recording their FaceTime without her consent.
Yeah.
Which I guess probably for legal reasons and trying to maybe protect Tom in some way, but I'm also like, I
Mm,
mean,
auto
if it's
tune.
out there, it's out there. People are gonna know. But
Yeah.
regardless, but my favorite thing was so he had asked James to open for his band.
Oh, I was like, this is different. Please continue.
Yes. And James was like, I guess I'll go and I'll see. And then he goes with Hippie to where Tom
That
was
dog goes
practicing.
everywhere.
That dog goes everywhere. And Tom practicing, literally, it's like the delusion. I'm like, Tom.
When his backup singer made a face, I was like, ooh. I was like, is it just me or is he pitchy? I don't know what key he is.
Oh,
I don't know what key he's in.
he doesn't have a key. He didn't have a key to his house when he slept with Raquel the first time, and he doesn't have a key in this band. Literally, he cannot sing, and it's just the
Oh,
the
nope.
the, the delusion of Tom Sandoval. And
Hmm.
what's crazy is it's just like I don't know, like I feel like with Tom, he wants to be the star so bad, and he wants to be
Hmm.
this performer, but he's not good at any of it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but I feel like he has like this creative side. Like he could help other people. Like maybe he could like
He could write.
direct, he could
Hmm.
write, maybe he could do more behind the scenes and like find
Hmm.
success there. But because he's such a narcissist that thinks he needs to be in front of the camera with no talent, he's like
Yeah.
like hitting like no, like that was so bad.
It
It
was
was the
really
worst
bad.
thing I've
I
ever
was
seen in my
like, this
life.
is not a good look for you. And you look really happy and like confident doing it, but it's not a good look. I
There's
want to see
nothing
what his music is rated.
there's nothing worse than a man confidently doing something terrible.
Loud and wrong.
But it's funny because it reminded me of before Ariana started her Broadway stint in Chicago, she did an interview and someone asked her like, you know, how does Tom like what do you think about how Tom was like the one that like had this band and was like singing, but now you're the one on Broadway? And her answer was just like, I was always the singer. And I'm like, ain't that the truth? I just saw
Ain't
a
that
clip
the
of her one of her
truth?
recent shows. She got so much better and her voice is so good. I was like, you better eat it
Ooh.
up,
Because
Ariana.
she's probably doing the necessary steps, right? Like, probably has a
That
voice
part,
coach and stuff. I couldn't see Tom getting a
training.
coach because he thinks he's good already.
No, but that's the
The
thing.
problem with narcissism is,
And there was another instance of that in regards to the house, which we'll get to.
yeah,
But James coming to
that was so interesting.
that was amazing.
Because James is like, they're just casually talking. He's like, yeah, she basically said, he's talking about the podcast. He's like, Raquel basically said that she was with you but she wasn't over me and she was still in love with me. And I guess that made James feel good about himself.
I don't know. Here's
That
my
was
thing.
weird.
It was odd because at first it kind of took a left really quickly and
It
like
did.
very subtly. Like you could,
Very.
if you really like looked, you could kind of see it
I
building, but
didn't
not
notice until he
really.
came for his neck at the end. I was like,
Because I
what?
think what it was is it's still like a sore subject because of like Raquel was his ex-fiance and then Tom had the
Yeah.
affair and they were close. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's like it you kind of see the growth of James and how
Mm-hmm.
Tom is still regressing because I think Tom wanted it to be like this bonding moment where they
Mm-hmm.
like talk mess about
Like,
Raquel.
oh, she sucks, doesn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, and James is like, I'm not gonna feed into this, and like she's working on herself, like whatever. Like I'm
Yeah.
annoyed, but I don't want to give it more life. And then you can see Tom wanted to bait him and be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, when she gave you that ultimatum years ago about if you don't stop drinking, we're gonna break up. She did that with the intention that you wouldn't be able to do it. And then James
Oh,
caught that.
yeah.
And James was
Yeah.
like, well, she also said on the podcast that she never loved you and she was getting over me. So I won't take what she said too seriously. And
Yeah.
then it was just like, what did he say?
He
I'm
was
like
like, I'm not
blinking.
opening for your stupid band.
N- oh no, because well, yeah, because he was like, I just think you guys were just fucking each other and you guys didn't really love each other. And he's like, dude, that's not
Oh,
true,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
We
He did.
loved each other. We would talk for hours before we
Yeah,
would even
five.
do
We talked for
anything,
6 hours.
which
She'd
meant
come to
30
my
minutes.
house, or I'd go to her house. It wasn't about sex. We had sex sometimes, but
There's
most of the
real
time we're
math,
talking.
there's girl math, and then there's Tom math. So 5 to 6 hours is half an hour. And then they just like probably allegedly took shrooms and like ecstasy and then had
Mhm.
sex with the galaxy lights. But and then even James is like, true love was you and Ariana. And he's like, you don't know that. And he's like,
Mhm.
you told me for years you loved her. See, you
Mhm.
lie so much, you forget what you say. And it's like that's
Mhm.
so true with Tom
That's very
Sandoval.
true.
He
I'm glad
lies
someone
so
brought that up.
much. Right?
Mhm.
I was like, James, you are eating him up. And then he's just
Come
like,
for
and
his neck,
also,
James.
your band's a joke. I'm not opening for you. I'm on to bigger and better things, and I gotta go. Bye.
He just starts walking out. And then you see a clip of him explaining himself, and then Tom is like, yeah, go press. He's like, go press some buttons on your
What'd you
laptop.
say, mate? What'd you say?
James is like, say it to my face. He's like, I said, go press the buttons on your laptop. And
And
James
then
was like, yeah, dude, thanks, I will. I wish they
and
would have fought. I wish he would have got to his face a little bit.
a little bit. But what's funny is this is perfect timing because James just performed at Coachella this past
Oh,
weekend.
that's amazing. I didn't know.
Right? And that was one
Was
of
he
his
like
big
early in the
goals.
day or like
I think it was a night one. I don't know if it was an after party or something, but it seemed like a big
mm,
area he was DJing. Taylor Swift was listening to it.
that's
Like she was in the audience.
awesome.
Like it was like big.
Yeah,
And he
Tom,
had
let us
said in
know
the
when you make
earlier
it to
seasons,
Coachella.
yeah, let me know when you do a cover of whatever the fuck Coachella. Maybe he'll get the after party.
Yeah,
But that was hysterical. I love that moment more than
that was
anything.
I was like, dang, this escalated quickly. And I didn't catch really like the shadiness because I was like, I thought you were cool. You were happy
It
coming
was
in and then pissed off
subtle.
going out. It was very subtle, yeah. And I was
Hmm.
like glad. I mean, like nobody is saying that though. Like this is the conversations I wish more people were having. Like, yes, bring up the fact that Raquel is not with you. You left your girl for 9 years for her. Like, let's bring up that fact. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you did like Ariana at one point, but now you're treating her like a piece of trash that never existed to you and you never cared about. Like, I
Hmm.
want more people to bring that up, but they're not.
They're not, but you know what? We
Mm-hmm.
can depend on James. James is
We
coming
can
through
depend
this
on
season.
James. James remembers.
He remembers. But the other big plot point of this episode was the house drama
Wait,
because
before that, Lisa, remember they got together to talk about the brunch. They had a meeting about the brunch.
oh
And
yes,
then Schwartz is like, Tom is upset about some podcast stuff. That's why he's late to this meeting. I guess Tom is just notoriously late because
he
on
is.
the show and off the show, people are saying this dude is late.
Hmm.
So Sandoval finally comes in, and Lisa's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Lisa, you're not being helpful
What's
at
wrong?
all."
Is it the podcast?
If I was upset, I would be pissed off too. And how you're approaching this?
Well, before Lisa Vanderpump is a human, she's a
Yeah.
producer.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to get you to talk about what you need to talk about and all the trauma and everything.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, "What are you upset about? Is it the podcast?" And he's like, "No, I'm not upset." And she's like, "Tom, you need to move on." And he's like, "Get away." He just anytime Lisa wants to talk to him about this stuff, he's so like
No,
not
I'm gonna
open
listen
to.
to all the episodes.
Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, "If you don't like what she has to say, stop listening to it." He's like, "No, I need to. My name is being brought up. I need to listen." And she's like, "But if it's making you upset," he's like, "No, I need to listen
I
to
gotta listen. I need to see what's being said about me, dude.
It's like, can you fucking
And then I
chill?
think he started crying or just looked really upset.
Probably. Oh my gosh. I hate
Poor
him.
Lisa. She's like, I'm surrounded by children. You're 40 years old, acting like a child, literally.
Yep.
If something upsets you, don't do it. Don't if so,
It is
something you
crazy to know
hear
he's
upsets you,
40.
literally, and he acts like a child. Why do you
He
need to?
does.
Why do you? I don't really. If she has a point, Tom. If it's making you late for meetings and making you neglect your business, yeah, maybe step away for a little bit. Take a page out of
Right.
Raquel's book, retreat for a little bit, get some mental health help. I
But
also think it's funny he's always crying to Schwartz, who has zero like emotional support. Schwartz is like the last person I would ever go to for
no, he
emotional
just looks
support.
worried. He's like,
He's just
Oh
like,
man,
"Oh
someone's
man,
showing emotion in front of me.
oh no, what am I
Oh,
gonna do?
what am I gonna
What?
do?
Oh,
Oh,
oh, dude, that
ooh,
sucks, dude. Yeah, dude,
I
that's
have
not
blonde
great."
hair.
Oh, and Lisa was like, "When are you gonna cut him off? Cut it off." I'm like, somebody had to ask the man because he looks ridiculous. Thank you,
no, he
Lisa, for
looks
bringing it up.
terrible.
So bad.
Awful.
He's like, "I'm not cutting it, Lisa."
Oh, no, I like it. It's a vibe.
It's not.
It's not a vibe.
But the big thing, so Ariana sends Tom the counter offer for the
Mm-hmm.
house,
Mm-hmm.
and Tom was like,
Well, she took 2 months to answer, and now my financial situation has changed and I'm reconsidering. Sir,
Oh, how convenient.
if your financial situation changes that drastically in 2 months, you
Mm-mm.
were never
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
able to afford
Mm-mm.
that house.
Literally. Also, you were just bitching about this. I want to say probably less than a week or 2 weeks ago. I'll give
Mm,
you 2 weeks. You were just telling that girl to answer your email and answer your email and accept your offer 2 weeks ago in front of people. You wanted to throw shade at her. Now you can't afford something. Now you want Schwartz to be your roommate. That's
that would be
also stupid.
awful. I
That's
like
so
that
awful.
Schwartz had the wherewithal to be
Some
like,
common
dude,
sense.
no.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, thank you, Schwartz. Why do you want to be stuck in a house like under a mortgage with this guy?
That
Uh-uh.
would that would be
Mm-mm.
terrible.
So terrible. He's like, I really need a roommate. You need a roommate at your big age? Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting. Interesting.
And Ariana on the after show pointed out, and this is why she's just smart, like, and she thinks of things. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, I knew he was never going to be able to actually buy it out because one thing he didn't think of was when I get taken off the loan, it will have to be refinanced.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's not going to get that same discounted interest rate he got back in 2021 or whenever they bought it,
Mm-hmm.
2020,
Mm-hmm.
2019. He's gonna have to get an inflated one. And on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, my name's gonna come off this loan that is she had to sign for him at some point. I think when he like started Shorts and Sandy's, she had to
Mm-hmm.
sign off on a loan. So she's
Mm-hmm.
like, so that's gonna have to be taken care of. And with
Mm-hmm.
all of this and me doing an actual appraisal of the house and seeing what it's worth and all the furniture, you of course we're not gonna be able to afford this. And I've been trying to tell you this from the beginning, but you didn't want to listen because you thought you
Mm-hmm.
would just write me a check and then be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, gotta go. And that's literally not how it works.
That's not how you buy a house and take someone's name off of a house. He's
No.
so interesting, loud and wrong, but he wants to blame it on her. Oh, she took 2 months and now it's all different. No, it's
Well, she
not.
took so long. It's like you're so
Goodbye.
dumb. Like you're
When I
just
saw
so
that part,
dumb.
literally, when I saw that part, I was like, he is a fool. Like, you made such a big deal about this, and now you can't afford it.
I
Sell
think
the
he
house like
was
she
thinking
recommended, idiot.
right, I think he was thinking maybe Raquel would come back and, like, live
She
with
could,
him.
oh, and she could be on the mortgage and help you pay for the house.
Right, I'm like, "With
Pass,
what money? Like, get a
pass.
grip,
A big,
please."
literally.
Yeah, and now I know they're at the point where she's now suing him to get them to sell the house because I guess he wouldn't respond to her now
Wow.
offer. So I
Oh,
think
the
their court
irony.
date's in June.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll see.
Um, but yeah, but their house is a mess now that Anne's not there. And like
Yeah.
I think they seem to have been messy beforehand,
Yeah.
but now they're like times a million.
Yeah, and it looks like she's packing up. I mean, it is gross in there though. Like Sheena was like, "Can we throw this away? Like, can we do?" And she's like, "I'm not gonna do this just to redo it later. I'm not gonna unorganize this or put this away if I
It's
know
like
it's gonna be in a bed." I was like, "Oh, that's
I
gross."
get that with some stuff, but other stuff I'm like,
It's
you could
literally
clean up
like
this
the whole
Christmas
house.
gift or like this
Literally.
box.
It looks like she's about like packing up to move. Like that's what it looks
It
like.
does. And I maybe she's like Dancing with the Stars is about to start, and I know she
Yeah.
lives somewhere else for that. It seems maybe she's just like
Oh, that makes sense.
not as connected to the house and is not willing to like do certain things.
Yeah.
I don't know. And she's probably depressed. So she's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Honestly, I would be petty and leave my stuff over there so you can't throw pool parties with your friends.
That part too. But I'm also like, how did it get that messy that quick after Anne?
Literally,
Like,
literally.
damn.
I want to know, like, I want them to give us a timeline. Like on Married at First Sight, it's like this is week 1, week 16, week 15. Like, I want to know how much time has passed
Yeah.
in between the last time we saw them, because that would give us some context. I don't even know what month it is. I mean, I guess Lala kind of
Um,
alluded to the month because she was like, I want to have a kind of a Virgo baby, blah, 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 and then I'll have a bump by the summer.
yeah.
So
I
maybe
think
it
it's
was like October.
August
Okay,
or
August.
September, maybe October. Something
And
like that.
when did she start Dancing with the Stars? That was
That was October, I
October.
think, or
Okay.
early November,
Okay,
something
so
around there.
our timeline's kind of close. Maybe she knew
Yeah.
she was getting ready to leave.
She's like,
Is
I'm
she
about
in
to
her new
leave.
house yet?
I think she's going to be because she just ended Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think the house is finalized. So I would imagine if she's not in there now, she will be soon.
That's like 6 to 8 months of junk. That's
I know,
crazy.
right?
But anyway,
But
so
that's
that
probably, we'll
happened.
see all that season 12, which I'm sure
Her
there'll be a
moving in.
season 12.
Yeah.
Even though some people online, they're like, oh my gosh, we need to cancel the show. Or like, what are they going to do? It's going to get canceled. I'm like, y'all, it gets almost a million live
Yeah,
viewers.
I
And
don't
like,
think it's
it's
about
all
to.
anyone can talk about. They're not canceling.
They're kind of at their peak right now.
Are Lala and Sheena trying to get on the Valley and like buying homes in the Valley and like posting on social media them with like the cast? Yes. Is that gonna
Oh.
happen? I think at some point, but I don't know.
Yeah, and they might make a an appearance.
Yeah, and they made an appearance in the premiere. Here's my thing. I don't think you're not watching The Valley, right?
Mm-mm.
It's okay, but there's like it's decent. It's better than people thought it would be, I think. And like it's an already pretty big cast, and like there's a decent amount of drama. I don't see them adding Sheena and Lala in anytime soon.
Yeah.
At least not until like season 3 or 4.
Right.
So I'm like, y'all better like, because even Lala, someone asked her in some interview, in one of the 18 interviews Lala has done,
Hmm.
and she was like, I mean, if I got the call, I would say yes and all this. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah. That's
well, I
interesting.
don't think you should be getting the call because what are you going to bring? They're doing
Mm.
just fine. Like,
Yeah,
there's still stories to be told on
there
Vanderpump
are. And it's
Rules,
new and stuff. Yeah.
right? And it'd be a downgrade at this point. Vanderpump Rules is the show everyone knows.
Yeah.
You should want to stick with it. I don't
The
know. They're
Valley is
weird.
just coming out. I mean, Lisa is helping promotion and I saw it on TikTok. That's how I heard about it.
Oh yeah.
On and they're on Hulu, different network.
Oh no, that was Vanderpump Villa.
Oh, excuse me. You're right. You're right. The Valley's on Peacock. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderpump Villa, I kind of want to watch with you.
I kind of want to watch it too. I've heard it's decent.
Should be cool.
It seems interesting.
Yeah, I might have to
So we'll
dabble.
see. We'll dabble.
The only other thing that I felt like stood out was Sheena. being stupid about her mention of Tom and the whole scandal in her
Oh, the
song.
song.
APP Elliot. How you like that?
She's so stupid.
She's funny because she's like, earlier in the episode, she's like, I mentioned it in my song. Then at the end, she's like, I mean, it's not really noticeable. And I'm like, so why are you bringing attention to it if it's not noticeable? And you know it might upset somebody. Just put it out there. They may not notice. Who knows if Tom's probably like not even listening. He's so full of himself, you know?
Right?
Like you
From a
could have gone.
Ferrari to a Jetta. I thought you would do better.
I'm like, what is this?
And then
What's
Schwartz is
happening?
like, I mean, it's not that obvious, except for the fact that Raquel did drive a Jetta. Like, thank you. Thank you, Schwartz.
I
Thank
mean,
you for clearing
clearly
the
it's
air.
about the Sandoval, so I don't know why she's trying to be coy. And like Sandoval, of course he's gonna like have his moment where he like clutches his purse and he's like,
Oh, he was
Keep
so
cashing in
mad.
on my misery, dude.
it's like, shut
I
up.
mean, that is what she's doing. So you
It
can be mad at
is.
her. That's
You
fine. You can
can.
be upset about it.
Uh,
But it's also like pick a side because you're just like, Ariana needs to get over it. Now you're putting it in your song that will be forever out there.
well, she's a hypocrite. This is the thing. Her and Lala. It's not that they want to be the ones that it's about, and they're
Yeah.
not over it. So they're like, Ariana gets the attention.
Right. But she's
It's
also
like
like, if I mention it on the show, people will listen to my song.
it's like I'm sure they will.
APP Elliot.
I can't.
uh,
But I think that was it for the episode. Next
yeah.
week looked kind of boring based off the preview.
Yeah, nothing, I really don't even remember it. Nothing caught my attention.
They're
Oh,
showing
they're in
Jax and
cars.
Brittany a lot. I
Yeah,
know
the
Brock
boys
and
are getting out of,
Sheena.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
saw
then
Tom Schwartz and Sandoval getting out of a car. I think they're
yeah,
recording
that looked
something.
terrible. I think Katie and Jax are gonna have a showdown
Yeah, it
because
looks like it.
Katie does not like Jax, and
Okay.
which they never have really liked each other. Jax is terrible,
Mm-hmm.
so I get it, but
He
that should be
seems terrible.
exciting. But with all that being said, I think that's it for today's
That's
episode.
it for this week. We'll
Yes.
see y'all next week.
We will. Thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us 5 stars. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shade of It All. We're on Instagram and TikTok at the Shade of It All podcast, posting fun clips.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We'll be back next week, so don't you worry.
With another banger. So stay
Another banger.
tuned.
We'll see y'all then. Bye.
Bye.